You ever get that weird feeling, scrolling through your feed, that you might be the only real person left? Well, today, we are diving deep into a wild theory that suggests that feeling, it isn't just in your head. Welcome to the dead internet theory. So let's just kick things off with this bombshell of an idea. The theory is that the internet we all grew up with, the one full of actual people, has been quietly replaced. We're talking about a ghost town where bots are talking to other bots, AI is just recycling its own content, and real human interaction is fading away. All right, so how did we get to this point? Let's unpack what this theory really is and look at the evidence that has so many people convinced the internet's pulse has basically flatlined. So the theory goes like this. Around 2016 or 2017, something fundamentally flipped. The web went from being a place for people to connect with other people to a landscape totally dominated by machines. All of it designed to influence you, sell you stuff, and just keep you scrolling, while the real, organic stuff withers on the vine. And to get a sense of the scale here, just look at X, what we used to call Twitter. Some estimates suggest that a mind-boggling 64% of accounts might not be human at all. Just let that sink in. The majority of people you see could just be code. And it's not just X, not by a long shot. Hop over to Instagram and you're looking at an estimated 95 million fake bot-run accounts. And these aren't just sitting there quietly. They're actively liking, commenting, and spreading content to create this totally false illusion of popularity or consensus. But this is the number that really shows the scale of the problem. Meta, Facebook's parent company, they admitted that what they call inauthentic accounts make up about 430 million of their monthly users. That's a population bigger than the entire United States, all non-human entities, shaping what you see and think online. And what's crucial to understand is that it's evolved way beyond just simple bots. We're now dealing with this tidal wave of what people are calling AI slop. You've probably seen it. It's that bizarre, low-quality, AI-generated stuff, like those weird shrimp Jesus images on Facebook. It's designed for literally one thing, to trick the algorithm and clog up your feed. So why is this even possible? Well, the problem is baked right into the internet's DNA. The original system was built for one thing, getting data from point A to point B as fast as possible. It was never designed to know who you are, to remember who sent what, or to check if anything was actually real. It was built for speed, not for trust, and boy, are we living with the consequences now. But it's not all doom and gloom. See, if the problem is in the architecture, then maybe the solution is too. So let's pivot and talk about how we could actually fix this, how we could engineer a better, more trustworthy internet. Now you might be thinking, hey, what about all those prove you're not a robot puzzles or AI detectors? Well, the truth is they're just band-aids on a bullet wound. AI can now solve CAPTCHAs better than we can. It can rewrite stuff to dodge detectors. It can even create millions of fake verified accounts. It's an arms race we're currently losing badly. This really means we have to stop playing whack-a-mole with bad content. It's not about hiring more moderators. The only real path forward is to go deeper and re-engineer the internet's foundation. We have to start treating trust as an engineering problem, not a policy problem. So what does that look like? Well, this new foundation for trust would have 4 key pillars. First, a way to prove content actually came from a real person. Second, a tamper-proof history, so you can see if something's been edited. Third, we make the bots pay for the data they scrape. And fourth, all of this has to work at the insane scale of the modern web. And this isn't just a hypothetical idea. Real companies are building these pieces right now. You've got Cloudflare figuring out how to charge bots for access. OpenOrigins is embedding cryptographic proof into photos right when you take them. BitGPT is building payment systems just for machines. The reboot is already happening. So we've got a tech problem, and we've got a tech solution. Case closed, right? Well, not so fast. The whole dead internet theory rests on one huge assumption, that all these bots and AI are actually effective at manipulating us. But are they? Let's talk about the human side of this. And this is really the million-dollar question, isn't it? We've established that the internet is crawling with bots, trying to get our attention and sway our opinions. But how often does it actually work? Are we really just puppets on a string waiting to be programmed? This is where you see a huge disconnect. The popular fear is that AI is this ultimate weapon of mass persuasion. But when you look at decades of academic research, it tells a completely different story. It turns out that changing people's core beliefs on a mass scale is incredibly, incredibly difficult. And this quote just nails it. We don't come to an issue or an election as blank slates. Our political identity, our values, our communities, these things act as powerful filters. These loyalties are built up over a lifetime, and they're incredibly tough to break, no matter how clever the algorithm is. And hey, if you still think mass persuasion is easy, just look at the advertising industry. These are the best in the world at this stuff. A massive analysis found that for every 1% increase in ad spending, sales only go up by about 0.1%. Now, if billions of dollars from marketing geniuses has that tiny an effect, what are the chances some random AI shrimp meme is going to change your vote? Probably close to zero. Okay, so that's the theory. But let's get out of the lab and into the real world. Let's look at what the actual data says from some very recent, very high-stakes elections from all around the globe. Now, this is fascinating. This is data straight from Meta about the big 2024 elections. They found that out of all the stuff their fact-checkers flagged as misinformation, less than 1% of it was made by AI. Over 99% was just good old-fashioned human-made lies. And you see this exact same pattern everywhere. In India's gigantic election, AI was a tiny, tiny fraction of viral messages. In the UK and EU elections, you could count the number of viral deepfakes on your fingers and toes. The conclusion from pretty much every researcher on the ground was clear. There's just no evidence that AI had any meaningful impact on the results. Which brings us to a really interesting paradox, right? The internet is full of bots. That part's true. But their ability to actually persuade us seems to be minimal. So why is everyone freaking out? Well, the answer is complicated. Part of it is our tendency to think of new technology as this all-powerful, unstoppable force. Part of it is the modern attention economy. Scary headlines just get more clicks. And, of course, part of it is very real, very genuine concern from people on the front lines of democracy who see these tools being used to harass and intimidate, even if they aren't swinging elections. And so we're left with this final question to chew on. The internet is absolutely changing. It's becoming more synthetic, more automated every single day. The dead internet theory is right about the stuff we see, but it might be wrong about its effect on us. And maybe, just maybe, the biggest threat isn't the ghost in the machine, but our own fear of it. What do you think?